Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to Pure Cringe. This is the show for people who love to hop in the Wayback Machine and head to the first seasons of classic Bravo TV shows. I'm here with my co-host, Heather Bombard. Hi, Heather. How are you?
I am doing so good. Hi, Maria. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm always so happy to see you. You know, I love to spend time together doing this. This is so fun. We have such a blast doing this. I can't believe that we are halfway through the season already. This is episode 5 of our rewatch of Southern Charm. Can you believe this?
Dude, I can believe it because
It's been a lot.
this season is so good or so bad that they had to extend it to give it not only a reunion, but then an after show, which are very popular. So let me say that don't you worry, we're going to cover all of it. And maybe we'll do the extra after show, whatever's added last, we'll do that. That's the thing that we'll go back and do when we get there, when we actually go to Charleston.
That'll be fun. I think it's called The Secrets Revealed.
Secrets Revealed, yeah.
Secrets Revealed.
As if the season doesn't do enough of that.
As if there wasn't so much tea that, we are in danger of third-degree burns. I was thinking about this. These motherfuckers have come in hot, can we say? For a first season. There was scandal in, the second episode.
Yeah, and let me tell you, the first time I watched this through is how I tried to originally rewatch it through, which is just sit there like a dumb idiot and enjoy all the tea that's being thrown at your face, bags and all. And you can't do that when you want to actually have a conversation about it. But this show is perfect for just sitting back and watching the whole thing implode on itself. It's great.
Yeah, I was just thinking about this earlier, too. I hope that everyone who's rewatching it with us is feeling the same way. I feel like this show is worthy of the rewatch. I am seeing so many things that I never noticed. I am disgusted with myself that I didn't realize, frankly, how lecherous a lot of these dudes were. Yeah. I watched this show for the first probably 4 or 5 seasons. Once Thomas and Kathryn's relationship became, I don't know what else to say, but the center. It always has been, actually, now that I'm saying it, even right now. It is the central drama of the show.
Yes, it's the main storyline, if you will.
Yeah, yes, exactly. And that continues, I'll be conservative, 4 years? 4 seasons?
Yeah.
Maybe 5?
Yeah.
So in reality, nothing happens on the show. It is the Seinfeld of the South. It's about nothing.
No, I have a theory, Maria, and I am going to give you this theory right now because you know how much I love to deep dive way too far into the previously on.
It's like tarot.
It is. Every time I spend at least a half an hour, if not 45 minutes, just on the previously on because I have.
You are killing me, really?
All of these thoughts about it, but I'm going to boil it down really quickly. Now, the first thing, I have no idea why I wrote this down, but previously on, the first thing I'm like, let's fight. So I was like, there was something about when I was watching previously on that I wrote above my notes, and Maria knows, I'll show it to her, my notebook. The way my mind pours out on page, she's probably seen a million times before.
Listen, dude, I'm with you.
Yes, although yours actually looks like you're writing paragraphs in English class, whereas mine looks like what the notebooks look like in
it's a bullet journal.
7. In 7. Kevin Spacey's character in 7. Anyway, so I wrote Let's Fight. When I finally remember what the hell that was about, I'll let you know. But I am now calling previously on, let's catch up with our stories. I've decided that whoever's voice is the producer, director, whatever of this TV show, the person who's editing things together, sound clips, I don't know what job that is, but they used to watch telenovelas or soap operas with their mom if they were home from school.
It is different compared to most of the Bravo TV shows. I agree with you. It does have a different vibe. It feels like they're setting it up to be like a soap opera
Yes.
to a certain
Well,
extent. Yes.
and this is where the Previously On comes in so handy, because I literally did like just a timeline, I guess, because this one is in the relaying of information with the scenes that they choose. It's very much so them laying out the story for all of us. And for those of you who've been watching along with us as we're talking about this stuff, it's becoming very clear that this is the story with the Previously On. I just want to note that the Previously On voiceover, as they're showing scenes, is Cam is the one who's telling us the story. And they also mix in voiceover from the actual characters, either in the scene that they're showing or using their sit-down confessionals. So we're just got all that on the table. So very quickly going to go through in the way that they tell the story, so you can imagine the scene in your heads. Or Maria, if you want to stop me to describe what happens in those scenes, feel free to. But Cam's talking over the first time that T-Rav had Kathryn Dennis in his home, episode 1. And he's saying, a Southern gentleman always brings a lady coffee in the morning. Another
Gross.
T-Rav,
I hate that
deep
one.
thoughts with T-Rav.
Yeah.
And Cam says, but Tom decided Kathryn is too young and set his sights on Shep's ex, Danny. And then they're showing Danny riding the horse, and Thomas Ravenel is yelling at her, looking good there, looking real good. Gross. First gross on the page right there, big old G. Meanwhile, back to Cam, Shep's attention was fully focused on MJ. Cute as Shep at that terrible date from last episode. I like when your hair is like totally natural curly. Thank you. Yeah. Like he's taking credit for giving her a good compliment. I don't know. But anyway, this is where the writer of these voiceovers, whoever that person is, it's funny. This is where it's clinched that they're just putting leading signs up the way soap operas do. Like soap operas are like, let me jam these storylines down your throat that are not only ridiculous, but are also like totally unbelievable. But we're going to lay it out for you nice and easy to drink. You don't even have to think. You can just sit in front of the TV for hours. This is how this is starting to feel. And also, I don't know if the voice and this story has aged well. We could talk about that as we go through this story. This is the next episode. And then it shifts to Cam, and Whitney's focus is all business, which they cue to that museum philanthropy
The gala
thing that they just went to, where he's talking about his restaurant. And have you ever seen BoJack Horseman? It's an animated, I think, Comedy Central or something like that.
I've heard of it, but never seen it. No.
Watch it. So if anybody
I trust you.
into adult comedy, Jeremy actually started watching it, and I came in very early into it, and it's compelling. It's like, I really enjoy Rick and Morty because the more you watch it, the funnier it gets. Anyway. So definitely, but there's this character on BoJack Horseman, which is, I think, 3 kids in an overcoat dating an adult. And I'm pretty sure his name is Mr. Business. And this is what what is what I now call Whitney.
It's Mr. Business.
He looks like Mr. Business, because if Whitney at all, he doesn't seem like somebody who's interested in any way, shape, or form in philanthropy based on his side notes during the thing. But he's talking to his mommy, Pat, who we love, about his prospects of going into the restaurant business. And he says to her, I know you're underwhelmed. And I am underwhelmed, because the whole idea is... Any ideas, Maria?
Was it banal?
pedestrian and banal.
banal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just love the way that she draws that out. And then
In this episode, she also has a nice insult
Oh.
for it too as well. I love it. She's excellent. She's like a 1-2 punch.
it's like Norman Bates, man, and his mommy. This is
Yep.
what it sometimes feels like. Although they must love each other because they coexist in that household perfectly well. They know how far they can push each other. And Pat does not seem to want for anything, so she really doesn't need as much attention from her son. She seems to have a very interesting, fulfilling, and busy life all on her own.
Oh yeah, and she has Michael. She
So-
doesn't need anything.
Oh my God, I'm so glad she finally says his name like 80 times in this episode, because if she hadn't, I was gonna
Love you,
write
Michael. But yeah.
a firmly written letter to Bravo or whoever produces and directs this thing. Anyway, we cut to Cam, who, the story she's telling us, and Craig was starting to fall for Kathryn. I got a kindergarten crush on her, is what Craig says in his voiceover, whatever. He's talking to Cam, actually. And she says, redheaded Kathryn? Question mark. And then Cam says, yes, that Kathryn, while flipping to Kathryn in bed with Thomas that they just showed. This is why I had to write it all down, because it incensed me, honestly, to my core. And then Kathryn says, until Shep swooped in and bro code 101. Craig, you hooked up with her, Shep. So what? Then back to cheery Cam. Then Tom and Kathryn. Yes, that Kathryn cues back to her in bed with Thomas from scene 1, episode 1. Had a pregnancy scare, Thomas. Kathryn, and she's 2 weeks late talking to Shep, because Shep also maybe remotely, weirdly, could have been the baby daddy. Then back to cheery Cam, and now they're actually falling for each other. Ain't love crazy? Huh. And I'm like, this is where I think I went back and wrote down the voice of this story, and whoever's putting together and editing and producing those little sound bites. I just want to walk up to them and punch them in the face and be like, you know what? I watched all those soap operas too, and I have a better voice in my head of women in my life. Anyway,
It doesn't get any better because honestly, we start out right away with an incredibly high level of cringe, right where it's the epicenter of cringe, which is Thomas's house. Kathryn is there. Inexplicably, again, like they're like two lesbians. They're living with each other immediately.
You know what? It's funny is that in my head, they are cooking the breakfast that was it the last scene when they're heading into the house, like they're arguing over who's going to make breakfast, and she insists she's going to do it without any help.
Yeah.
I think this is that next morning. Because, they jam-pack all the filmings into 8 weeks, running back to our last season, which was jam-packed the first half of it into what feels like a month or 8 weeks or whatever that was with Project Runway season 1. So they're going to get in as much filming as they can that's relevant. You know how they were able to do it, though, Maria, is because they never filmed Kathryn with any confessional. So she has no voice other than what's shown on the screen or what people say about her.
That underscores how interesting it is that we see her trying to connect with a bunch of different men. She was never meant to be on the show. She seems very much like she is chasing clout and trying to get on the show any way she can. And Thomas is an easy mark. She's obviously more intelligent than Thomas and less drunk. He's so easily manipulated. This is a situation where she wanted to get on the show. She's on it. And so sadly, there is no voice. But this is how she secures herself a position on this show for the next 5+ years.
Well, we're going to learn a little bit about another character who is not a title character, but is very central to this episode in particular, who we've seen on screen before, learned a little bit about.
Yeah.
No, everybody, it is not Thomas's political advisor. Thank God, that
Will,
terrible
folks.
man.
Fuck Will.
But instead, it's JD, his, I don't know, best friend is what I would call it. I don't know if they put that up in letters on the screen, but
Yeah, I'm not sure. They seem to know each other well, but then again, Thomas asks how old his children are when they're
well,
together.
what's interesting is I'm fairly certain, and I'm not going to go back through my notes because, oh God, there's just so many. When we first met JD at his restaurant, they did a brief introduction of him, and T-Rav says he and I used to be drinking buddies. He doesn't say we womenized women together, but he sure as hell implies it, and then says that he got married, and I think JD's telling that story on his own at that point. And he's, yep, I got married. He has like, what, 4 children?
Yeah, cute little kids.
So the interesting part, though, is Thomas is how old? 50, 52?
Yeah.
And so he could have known JD from when they were kids or young college age 30-somethings. And JD could have settled down in his 30s and be totally chill right now. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if you're 52, you've known some people for a few decades.
That's the interesting thing about this is that I think this is a big part of why everything is about to happen and there's so much gossip and there's so much hubbub around Thomas and Kathryn is because there's so much here around who you are and what your history is. Where do you come from? How long have we known each other? Do our families go back a long way?
What's the
Are we
reputation?
entrenched? Yeah, are we entrenched? And I think that's why all of that is about to happen. And I think that's why it's interesting that Thomas always mentions Kathryn's lineage, because that is certainly a factor in him opening himself up to her. I think the other factor is that she doesn't judge him about his prison time, which I
She
think
doesn't
was
know any better. She hasn't
that's the
even
thing, she's a
probably
child.
formed her core values yet,
Yeah.
honestly.
She's a child, and that's the thing. And you can see it in this scene here where they're making breakfast and talking about the Carolina Day party.
Yeah. And so very quickly before we jump into that, I did just want to add that we don't know if she did film confessionals and they were just left out based on what they wanted to include in the show. Or
True.
if she wasn't given confessionals, which is the theory I'm going with, that her storyline, either directed by her or just enjoyed by everyone due to happenstance, this is really increasing her airtime is the only way that she's not just talked about. She can throw her own thoughts into the mix. I don't know. She could be a fame chaser. She could also be stupid but smart when she needs to be. She really reminds me of Vanderpump Rules fan. Would know this. I'm forgetting her name. Lala. She reminds me of Lala.
Yeah, I see that. I have to be honest. I think what'll be interesting for all of us, Heather, because you will undoubtedly uncover the truth when we actually get to Kathryn's episode, and we'll find out if she was ever meant to really be a cast member on the show. Right?
Yes.
So you'll be able to confirm that. So everybody stay tuned. As we get closer and closer, we're getting more and more really deep, interesting dives into some of the main characters. And I'm sure Kathryn will be one of the last ones we do.
Yes, and for you listeners, Maria, you just let the cat out of the bag that we have decided, since there are so few core named people in the beginning of every episode, we're branching out into some peripheral cast members, and we're going to deep dive into them as well.
Absolutely.
So Kathryn's going to get her time in the sun with us combing through her life.
I was just going to say, she better buckle up wherever she is, because once you're on the case...
I think she's going to turn out to be an angel, Maria.
Once you're on the
we're
case...
fighting.
Listen, I don't know, Heather. I'm going to be so interested to see how we both morph as we move through this. Who knows? Maybe at the end, we both think something completely different about her. It would be cool. It would be cool.
Yeah. So they're having a lovely let's cook breakfast together conversation you would have as any couple that lives together, about JD's formal being on Wednesday and what T-Rav is going to wear, what does every boy wear? We can give that reveal right away, save ourselves some time.
Yeah, it's a summer formal party, so of course, white dinner jacket.
See, I would never have known that, but T-Rav did say it's a summer formal.
Yep.
Then he says Kathryn's going to wear a dress, and she asks him what kind of dress, because he's going to maybe buy her one.
I was just going to say, spoiler alert, guess who's probably paying for it? Yeah.
He says he's going to buy her a little black dress, braless, accentuate every nook and cranny of her physique. Ugh, gross.
So this is exactly it. This is exactly the quote. Ready for this one? He says he wants to accentuate every nook and cranny of her beautiful physique to great advantage. I wanted to be like, is he ill? He's so gross. And then they start talking about whether she should be nervous.
She asked him, what are people going to say? Should I be nervous? And then he gives us one of his deep thoughts from Thomas Ravenel's, which is, the greatest of all virtues is courage, and then gushes over her handling versus him falling completely apart over their pregnancy scare.
I think that what he doesn't recognize is that it's not that she handled it with poise, it's that she's a woman and she doesn't have much choice in the matter. It's her body that something's happening to or not, and she has to handle it a different way. But yeah, so he says she has a lot of potential.
Oh, she's got a lot of potential.
He talks about her like a horse that he's thinking about buying. But thankfully, we get the fuck away from him. And then we're to
Charleston. OWNE, for those of you who are clocking the different way people are going to spell it, which, by the way, it's Charlestown Tobacco and Wine. It's at 189 East Bay Street. And Whit is sitting there smoking a cigar, getting another double espresso, and Cam, who does not like cigar smoke, is going to get a Riesling.
Whitney, by the way, if you check out his lighting, he is made up. He has a relatively thick layer of makeup. I thought it was interesting, Heather, that he is so different with Cameran versus Jenna. He's so respectful with Cameran. He doesn't rub her ass. He's not creepy with her.
He does still say, because I feel like I didn't write it down, because I was like, oh, there's Whit being gross with another girl. But even with Cam, I think he said something slightly inappropriate, in my opinion, for somebody who's Cam. Don't talk to Cam like that. And I was just like, oh, that's just what he does, but I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, I don't remember either. I was very focused on what Cam was wearing. It was very early 2000s, like Louis Vuitton, Tivoli, purse, big-ass David Yurman ring. She tells him that she thinks he's secretly in love with Brandy.
Like, Whit is terrible and gross, but he and Thomas are at a different level of Southern gentleman politeness, turning the other cheek, knowing what's appropriate in high society. And he acts that way all the time, except when he's being gross and he's not acting like that. But Pat definitely in public acts like that all the time.
Yeah.
So she's been projecting that on everybody.
Yes,
get married, have babies, get married, have babies, get married, commit, have babies, because that's what she wants to see men doing.
Absolutely, absolutely. And she also, to her credit, is there to hustle him, because she says she wants him to hire her as his real estate agent, because she says, I know you're loaded. And
she says, I need cash
and I need cash. And I just love the fact that she's like straight up like, hey, listen, you're wealthy, you're probably going to buy a property. Why not let it be the person who earns the amazingly like lucrative commission? And then it's so funny to me because they start talking about how it must be for him to have a situation where he has to bring women home to Patricia's house. And he says that he lives in another wing. And then when he brings women home, he pushes them out the service entrance. What a guy. And then he makes a Psycho reference. He talks about Norman Bates. And Cameran doesn't know who that is. And I have a sad moment there where I think to myself, There are so many people in the world who are too young to know who Norman Bates is, which is really, really too bad.
I think it's funny because he knows he's like his audience, but also this is a guy who is a filmmaker, his mother keeps saying.
Yeah.
At one point, I think in this one, somebody references Hollywood folks. So I don't know if he spends time in Hollywood. I don't know. But like his Norman Bates reference stuck with me because I wrote it down here. Joked that Cam doesn't get the reference, but then also on a serious note, they cut to her confessional, and the way that whatever it is that she says, she still doesn't know who Norman Bates is because she doesn't understand the movie at all. And so the way she references Psycho, and I think it was as the movie or something else, like you can tell she's never seen it. She has no idea what Psycho is. And so that's sad in and of itself. But I love the fact that she's talking about how $7 million property. And this is where Wit says, we don't talk about money, darling. And she says, oh, pish posh. That's not her. He was being serious.
I was just going to say that's the funny part about this is that he is always maintaining. So there's this, we may have talked about this before. There's this concept, I think it was popularized at Harvard. It's called constant comportment. Like just a constant awareness of who you are in the world and how you're behaving and how you're presenting. And I think that through education, but culture is maybe what I mean by that, through like his environment, I think that he learned a refined way of speaking and being in the world that you don't see.
Just by Pat.
Yeah.
Her example and how she still speaks to him.
Yeah.
I would say that he had, I think, 2 fathers growing up in the sense that Pat remarried to a very wealthy philanthropy art guy we learned about in the last thing. Both of his fathers were very successful, I believe, and obviously his mother was very smart. So I feel like he was like held to a higher standard back at a time because he's older, part of the older generation cast where he might have had to have gone to charm school type thing. And
he probably went to military school, right?
But he was also put in situations, I'm sure, often in other countries or whatever, where he had to go to an event and he had better act a certain way and know which fork to pick up and how to speak to people who are going to donate money. I'm sure my mom used to parade us around and we were nothing special. So like I can get like the pressure of, and I'm guessing that he had a lot of pressure, a lot more than typical. But so he knows how to behave. Oh God, that was so cringy. All of this is so cringy. But yeah, but thankfully we get the hell out of there. And we go to, I love the name of this, Gents Barber Spa. It's JD's salon. And in my head, I was like, oh, didn't he own the restaurant where he and T-Rav had lunch? And then we cut to
Winky Dink.
JD! He tells us that he owns 2 restaurants. He has 1 barbershop and 1 jazz club in Charleston.
Think of it this way. JD has been, for a peripheral character, has been showing up in ways that highlight the fact that he owns certain things.
Oh, yeah.
That he has money from certain... There's a few moments of shameless self-promotion here. Love you, JD. A few minutes of that. I am sure that is a big part of the reason why he decided he wanted to be part of the cast as a father of 4 or whatever.
Well, also, he seems to be a bit of an entrepreneur there in Charleston and somebody who is also, I don't know if he's a philanthropist or anything like that yet. We're going to discover that together. They pay locations, Bravo does, in order to be able to film there. So getting your business on a show like Southern Charm puts things in people's faces that silly idiots, those people who are just going to be like, I want to go there. Maria, do you know any of those people?
I have no idea what you mean by that.
Yeah, I don't. Every
I
single
don't
thing.
resemble. I don't resemble that statement at all. But yeah,
No,
I
we
do.
get it. Like we
uh
know what they're doing. They're marketing Charleston to us because that's
Of
part
course, we're
of,
dying to go now.
I'm sure Charleston gets paid a little bit, or they let you do it so that they can make some freaking money. You make
I'm
money when
sure
people film.
I'm sure there were discounts on fees and certain things, and because this whole thing is one big love letter to Charleston, even though it's a sloppy, drunk love letter that gets written at about 3 o'clock in the morning after drinking all day.
Oh, yes. That's so good because the
Right?
next series of scenes that we have to watch are things that JD loves.
Yeah.
JD loves to celebrate what makes this town great. And then, oh my gosh, look at that for you. JD has a confessional. Interesting. He's not a title character, yet he has. Did they give Danny a confessional? I'm trying to think. No, I don't remember seeing one for her, but JD gets one. Danny had an entire episode of being molested by T-Rav, and she doesn't get a confessional.
Well, so here's the thing. I think what happens in the first seasons, which is part of the interesting bit, is that none of the puzzle pieces are set. They are just randomly filming groups of people waiting for something to gel and for a storyline to pop up. And I think what it shows us is that JD was probably considered more for a lead character, and I can see why, right? He owns multiple businesses. He has a big history in Charleston. He can give us event after event after event, right?
Which is his passion.
Which is what we want to see. So I understand why we would maybe set it up originally to say, like, we might want him to be a main character. And then as things start to gel, we realize, no, the big drama is between this 50-year-old man and this 21-year-old girl.
Yes.
And she's
50-something-year-old man also has properties that he gets to highlight, and his polo game, which he gets to have practically televised. All this free marketing going around, which could be mixed into their things we love since Project Runway, contract.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like this is a cool, for anybody who owns anything, I think that as we move through the rest of the season, I'd love for us to start talking about why people were on the show. Of course, we watch JD with his event planner. I love to host as well. Yeah. So to me, I dream of having an event planner. We see that T-Rav shows up. He meets with Karen, the hairdresser, to get a haircut. And they start talking about Carolina Day, and he mentions that he's going to wear a white dinner jacket as well. And I'm so pissed because he is my age and he has no gray hair. While they are there, Jenna calls JD, and it's just a check-in to see if she and Cameran are still coming, who they're coming with. So as we've said before, Jenna's boyfriend is an old married man, and Cameron's boyfriend is uninterested in being on the show. So they, of course, have no dates, and they decide to go together, which I love.
Now, Cam, has she told us yet that she has a boyfriend? I feel like it hasn't even come up in conversation.
It hasn't even come up, but we know
she's just always everywhere by herself. So you assume
that she's single.
She's single, but she's never mingling, ever.
No, not in that way, no.
And she also really doesn't drink that much on camera.
No, which I think that she is someone who's very much in control of herself.
Yes.
And so that's one of the things that I like about her. Thomas and JD step aside. They start talking about Kathryn. JD's like, you like her? And Thomas is all of a sudden gone from 2 episodes ago where he was like, she's immature, all these other things. Now she's a great gal. She has all the qualities that he is looking for in a woman. Can you believe he said that?
I think Thomas really is like me sometimes, not usually with romance, but there was a period of time in my life that I grew out of where I could be swayed by the gentlest breeze to blow in one direction or the other. And I had a very vivid imagination that allowed me to spin any great sounding story to myself. And T-Rav has been chasing something. I don't think it's babies or a breeder. I don't know. He's looking for some sort of relationship with a woman. I just can't figure out if it's purely political or good breeding or good ratings. I can't figure out what his motivation is yet.
Yeah.
He's just searching for a lady, and that's been his plot line thus far. So
We'll get there. We'll get there. But first, night falls on Shep's house.
and I think this is the same shower scene that we got when we had our shocking shower scenes of everybody getting ready for something earlier in the season. Because I feel like as soon as they cut to him in his tiny bathroom, which I'm like, you live on a goddamn estate and you're
It's huge,
like
right?
showering in something that's smaller than what they give you in college. Like what?
So it's probably like here in Salem, all the old houses, you can't actually change the sizes of the bathrooms. So you're left with things the way that they are. If they are part of like the historical society, you can't really change it. So you have to kind of love small bathrooms, small kitchens. Yeah, it is groovy. Yeah, but I know I get it. He's getting ready, but he's talking to us about MJ. And
Gross.
he actually is
gross.
saying that he wants her to explain herself.
Yeah, I'm like, he's so double standardy, hypocritical. It's just his voice is continually about him in his brain. Like he has no other mode. But he just doesn't think about anything other than himself at all times. Like he doesn't put anything over himself. He doesn't, like the things that he says, I think he truly believes. And he says that what she did going out with her ex-boyfriend, and he doesn't even say like on a date, it's being seen with her ex-boyfriend because that's really all she was. It's like when Cam kept flashing back to Kathryn in bed, I'm like, hi, you supposedly are wooing MJ and you're sleeping with Kathryn, and he is waiting for her to explain, and then out of nowhere the clouds part and up comes MJ to his house, which I thought that she would never show up there. But anyway,
Yeah,
there she, and then like they had the dumbest argument. Like both of them were somewhat uninterested. This was a total
So
plot
funny.
line that was
Yes.
manufactured out of nowhere with bad actors.
Exactly.
Right?
I felt the same way. The whole time I was just like, he doesn't really care. So why is he saying this? And then I thought, she doesn't really care. Why is she there? And then I thought, oh my God, this is the show. This right here is the actual show. And it was so interesting to me because he confronts her with the Craig information, and she basically tells him, I'm allowed to hang out with whoever I want.
Oh my God,
True.
I loved her.
Yeah, I felt like the whole time I was like, can we applaud? Is it appropriate to applaud for MJ, or is that tacky
God, yeah.
if we do that? He's saying he's mentally frustrated, and I thought, I don't think he's mentally frustrated. I think he is mentally shocked that someone is not interested in him. And I think he's also embarrassed that it's happening in this particular venue. You know what I mean? I think if it was anything else or anyone else, I don't think it would be that big of a deal in a private situation. But this is as not private as not private gets. And so I think I don't blame him for being embarrassed, but it sounds like he's giving her an ultimatum. And she says that. She's, are you ultimatuming me?
Yeah, when she was like, we've been on like 5 dates, I didn't think we were at that level. Like, honestly,
Agree.
I can't think of anything other than she had to come back and talk to him before she got her 10 grand or whatever, if they paid her at all to be on the show as a character. But
You're
also,
right, probably.
so the things that are said made no sense. It's like when you're watching a really bad TV show or movie that you know is trying to lead you in a certain direction, and they make absolutely no attempt to hide it from you. That is what their conversation sounded like, because nobody followed up with anything. She made a few really good statements, which, if that's her being genuine, I loved all of her responses. And the fact that she was like, yep, look, I'm leaving, bye. it's like she did not want to be there at all. And so this is where that soap opera feeling comes in. Like, this is the perfect side scene
Oh,
for a
no, 100%.
terrible, terrible plot line.
Yeah, was supposed to be a palate cleanser, but it's so poorly acted that it's distracting. I agree. Honestly, I loved any scenes, and maybe you guys have already guessed this. My favorite scenes involve Patricia.
Yeah.
That's the part of Southern charm that I really want to see. I want to see the old money. I want to see the sort of pomp and circumstance of it. These are the parts that are different from my own life and that I find attractive and interesting. And so for me, as soon as I see the two of them, I'm like, oh, this is going to be very interesting. And of course, yeah, because I think anything having to do with Patricia is always a good time.
Yeah.
So Michael drops off Whitney and Pat at Husk Restaurant, Pat tells us that she's a gin drinker and that it's time for her medicine.
Yeah, her gin medicine. Beefeater, by the way.
Yes, and she asks about the ball tomorrow night. And Whitney lets us know that Thomas is joining them. And Whitney wants her to counsel T-Rav about Kathryn. Which is, I think this is one of the biggest mistakes that happens in this season because it forces Thomas to double down. So as soon as Thomas gets there, Pat asks very directly, what is going on?
Yep.
And so this is again where Thomas is trying to explain it away by saying that she comes from a powerful family. Whitney explains about Calhoun. And then Patricia wants to know the real meaty question, which is, how old is she? And I love the way that Thomas answers. He's 12. He says she'll be 22 in August, which means, dude, she's fucking 21 now. Hello.
Yeah, it stings to say those words. So it's the last thing that you want to say. You avoid it at any cost. So the words you choose are very telling. And the fact that he refuses to say 21 years old. She just got the opportunity to drink. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And
exactly.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
No, so Whitney says that her hair is a clown color red because, of course, she's trying to explain to Patricia who she is. And then Patricia's like, oh, I remember her because she was at the house. And now this is where I get my feeling that I do think that they slept together or something happened. I think it was more than either of them are saying.
Well, so Pat implies that Kathryn and Whit slept together because when she went down to her kitchen to get coffee, she saw Kathryn. That's the first time they met, which she implies that she was there in the morning after having spent the night with Whit, which he just told us. They live in different wings of the house and he kicks her out the service entrance. But he says that Kathryn will never measure up to Thomas. He needs a major woman. I just wrote down, make a major mistake. It's making a major mistake with Kathryn, I think is what she's implying. Trying to keep him from making a major mistake. I don't know.
Yeah. Whitney is like, listen, she's fucking 21 and she plays like a 12-year-old.
Oh, yes, I wrote that down because it was just so amazing because I'm like, I don't know how to take that. I take it by like she's immature.
Yes, absolutely. That's what he means. Yeah, and honestly, like, he says, if you want to run, and this is, I think, where all of this is coming from, is that Whitney is under the impression that Thomas is a realistic person. Once you recognize that Thomas is his feelings about running again, they're not realistic. They're not based on realism in any way. They're purely intrinsic, coming from inside of him, right? Like he has no recognition of the social climate around himself. And so when Whitney says these things to him, like, hey, if you want to run again, you have to turn over a new leaf. You have to stop hanging out with these young girls. And then Patricia says, instead of impregnating 21-year-olds, you might refocus.
Yeah.
And that's when Thomas is like, okay. He says they're out of line, but it's not his style to push back on Patricia, which I appreciate. And then my favorite part of the entire episode, I'll spoil it for you right now, is when Patricia asked Whitney if she if he thinks that maybe Thomas felt ambushed and he said he needs to be ambushed, he's a moron. And I thought, yeah, I would say that. That sounds like me.
Yeah,
And it didn't sound like me. It didn't sound like me.
it's a shame because we all have thoughts in our head that we normally don't say out loud that are unkind and judgmental about the people that we know.
But the tough part here is because this is on TV, there's so many more repercussions for these things that they say.
Oh, absolutely. I just think it's funny because it's people get lulled by that camera eventually. So even someone like Pat, who should know better than her idiot son Whitney, like she lets stuff rip on her confessionals and even in front of Thomas. And this is where I give Thomas a lot of credit. He has, to use that, like he was brought up better because he will hold it in and take it outside or just get up and leave when things either hurt his feelings or he thinks that people are out of line. And I appreciate that about him. He's an idiot, but I appreciate that about him.
Same. Heather, Thomas is about to go to Stars where he meets a hilariously made-up Kathryn. Do you want to tell us about it?
Oh my God.
It sounds like it's Stevie Wonder did her makeup. So.
Yes, there's a period of time, and it goes through to today, where you'll watch something on TV and go, oh my God, who did their makeup? It's terrible. And who let that on television? This is reality TV, so you take what people provide you, and they usually don't do your makeup for you until you're very, very, very wealthy. So anyway, essentially they just have this like, we've been together for so long and we stand strong solidarity. Thomas and Kathryn both overshare a lot with each other. It's just constant oversharing. So essentially he goes to her and it's like, they're trying to poo-poo our relationship. And then they both make comments about what's dumber than Whitney. Whitney's dumb, okay. And then they're talking, she says, I think he himself told me that I was ... I don't even know. But essentially she tells Thomas the story that Whitney invited her over for a makeover and was telling her all these things about herself that would look better. I'm guessing on camera. I'm not sure. They arrived together to something early on, so much so I've forgotten it entirely. Essentially, it gets down to a storyline of, oh, did he take you into his bed? It's like a lot of grilling of a 5-year-old. So she does play like she's 12. Where did you do this? In his bedroom? Did you kiss him? And she says, I believe, for a minute.
See, that's the thing. She admits to a lot of things here that I can't believe she admits to.
Well, I think that she's already set the precedent with him. He's already proven himself to be allowed to be dominated, because when she told him that joking that it's Shep's kid was off limits, he shut down right away. There's a couple other instances where he'll bring something up and she will be like, no. And so I believe in this case, like, she feels confident by now. Like, he's obviously, Jenna King doesn't have the golden ticket. I think maybe she has the golden ticket, at least when it comes to Thomas Ravenel. So I think she knows, like, he's wrapped around her little finger, and she can get away with telling him the truth, like she did with Shep. Like, she told him about Shep very unabashedly.
Well, yeah, and I think, too, she was a little bit using it to get back at him, because at that point, that was when she thought she might be pregnant, and that he was avoiding her a little bit.
Well, plus she must think in her brain that he did something with Danny. She seemed to at least hint that he was dating other women, because he ignored her for a month.
For sure. He cannot be stopped, God bless him. And I hate to say it, he's asking questions about how far they went, if they French kissed. It's a very juvenile conversation. And I think this shows why Thomas is comfortable with Kathryn, because he himself is very emotionally, like, immature.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
So they're about at the same level. And Kathryn is saying that she thought Whitney was gay. And so it ends, it ends there. And I actually wrote, Whitney definitely did something with her. Something happened.
Yes, absolutely.
And then we see that scene that I always look for whenever it's Southern Charm, which is Patricia outside calling for her drink from Michael. He goes to get...
It's the first time that he gets named. He still doesn't get his name in writing underneath him. Yeah. But the cook has been named since episode 1 or 2, whenever we first met Robert, I think it is.
He's everything, though, isn't he, Robert? Robert is like the cook, the waiter, the fashion. He does everything.
I think he's just some guy that hangs out in the house. Michael drives them everywhere, which we saw at the beginning of this episode. But this is the first time that she uses his name, and she uses it a lot. So I think Whitney even uses it. Michael at least gets a name and a buzzer, apparently.
Oh yeah, I mean it's very low tech. But the one thing I will draw your attention to, but her necklace is like these huge chunks of jade and coral. Like the necklace is just like so expensive. It's just so old lady money. It's so old lady money.
I just remember her having super chunky necklace, and I was like, oh, here's the scene with Pat and Whitney. They're going to record together, la la la, life with the Altschuls, or whatever Whitney's last name is. And it's just so funny because when he rounds the corner, because she sends Michael to go get Whitney, who of course is playing his guitar because he's such a musician, artist man. And he comes around the corner to Pat, and it's like his sunglasses are askew. Like one of them is like way high up, and it hasn't been that way the entire time. So I'm like, dude, are you like 10
You're
drinks
killing
in?
me.
And then of course they both have their drinks, but Michael pronounces guitar, and then they make fun of it, and it's just funny. I just was so excited for Michael. So she wants to know what's going on with the restaurant, and I finished at the end of their conversation. I was like, oh, mom's relenting to the fact that Whitney wants to be a restaurateur, and she's relenting by meddling in the business, and I love it so much. It's such a controlling mom thing to do. But essentially, she says, Brian, the founder of Planet Hollywood, he's in town in Charleston, and he can help with the restaurant project. You don't have to kick Shep off, of course. Shep's not the best about this. So yeah, totally. And Whitney's like, yeah, it makes sense. He's doing more than Shep hasn't really helped at all. So yeah, Brian.
All right. Hey, listen, when you know people, right? So she says that her hopes and dreams for him are more elevated than food service. And so then we switch our perspective to the thing that we've been waiting for, it seems like, for the last 2 episodes, Carolina Day Party.
It's like the July 4th.
It is like July 4th, including the fact that it is a torrential downpour.
Oh my God.
I feel so bad. As soon as I see it, I'm like, oh, fuck, everybody's dresses. But one of the interesting things, and I do love this about reality TV, I love a party setup montage.
Oh, but you're used to them. Real Housewives usually has a party setup montage. Vanderpump definitely has one because they want to showcase their restaurants.
Oh my God.
Reality TV, if it's good reality TV, has at least 1 or 2 parties and 1 big event, which is usually the finale. But this isn't the finale.
Everything looked gorgeous. Loved watching JD in his element. I will laugh and say that the whole time I was watching, I was like, I wish I had my own bar to host parties in.
Well, I love him as an event planner because he says that he likes to be prepared for the what ifs. He likes it perfect before it begins so he too can party.
Honestly, this is probably costing him a small fortune, correct?
Yes, which I'm assuming he's potentially doing it for free so his place could be on the show and marketed with that really nice, by the way, folks, it's Carolina Jazz Bar. I have no idea where it is. That's as far as I went, but yep. So we leave there.
What you mean where they're hosting it?
Yep.
It's part of Sir Met's, his restaurant, I think.
Oh, yeah, but it's a separate entity. It's his jazz
Yes,
bar.
it's the
Carolina
mess.
Jazz Bar. But yeah, so we leave there and we go to T-Rav's because they're getting ready too. And then they're just, again, oversharing, feeding off of each other. It's like, talk dramatically about what's going on with your lives. They're oversharing and they're getting all riled up because Whitney is probably the most judgmental person I know. And they're laughing and scowling about how Whitney's going after Thomas and him and his mom overstepped and how dare they be judgmental about her, especially in Thomas's mind after Whitney practically went after her in some way.
I mean, she cooked up a fucking story. I'll let you tell the story, but I think that this whole putting everybody together, this like little arrival, is the calm before the storm, for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a little fashion parade, and I'll be curious to see what you think.
It's interesting because like we've seen the shower scenes before. They love to show folks getting naked, ready, whatever it is. So they go straight to Whitney's, and Whitney and Robert are trying to do a fashion makeover on Whitney. And then Brandy shows up and she's participating in the scene, and it's, oh yeah. But they cut. Yeah, it's like, Brandy's here, great, she comes in like, I'm your assistant, so what are you up to? Let me assist you. But then they shoot right over to Jenna, who's having another shower scene, almost identical to the last one, except I don't think she's naked. And of course, her and Cam are talking because Cam's still coming despite the monsoon to pick her up. So we established that they're definitely going as a date. And then we come back to T-Rav's house where he describes him and her arriving as a coming out party. And then it's like,
we so ratcheted up, don't you think, all the drama here?
It's like, but then we just keep cutting scening. And it's like back to Whitney's, and he's dressed in...
I think he looks amazing in a white double-breasted jacket.
Yeah.
And beautiful cufflinks.
And then he essentially tells Brandy, you have 20 minutes, go put on a dress. And I don't know if she was surprised that she's going or was like, oh, it's only 20 minutes. I don't know. It was really weird. But apparently Whitney is taking Brandy.
And that was odd, I thought. She did seem shocked.
Yeah. And then right back to JD, who's tying people's ties. And then getting everybody ready, and then the party gets going. Shep and Courtney show up.
Who the hell is Courtney? But okay.
We will learn later on exactly how new Courtney is. But JD is talking to Shep, I think, and he was like, you got to get loose and stay there, which I think must be one of the quotes that he lets out at every party. He's wanted to make sure it got on Bravo.
Exactly what kind of guy he is.
Yeah.
You know exactly who he is.
And then Brandy and Whitney show up, and Brandy's wearing some colors of a floral dress.
I couldn't see. Purple?
Yeah. You see it again a little bit later, and I think it's black and blue, maybe. Can't 100% tell. It didn't look as lacy when she came in, but in a later shot, it does look lacy. But I don't know if I'm just talking about Cam's dress or if they look similar. But yep, so Brandy and Whitney come in. Everybody gets all caught up on the, oh my God, do you think he's going to show up with Kathryn? And then we jump right back to T-Rav's house where Kathryn comes in like an aqua and green lace. What's the stuff? Sequin. Gosh darn it took me forever. Sequined dress, and I'm sure it matches her eyes or something in some way. Looks good with the red hair. Who knows? I don't think her hair is that clown colored. So anyway, she looks so good that T-Rav wants a quickie. Whatever. Cam shows up in her dress, which is black lace with blue.
You discuss her dress?
What was funny was she did say that it was her mom's dress from, and I don't remember when she said it was
the
from.
80s, I think.
That dress didn't come from the 80s. Like, that was a 90s. Maybe, yeah, early 90s dress. But it was just funny that I thought it looked great on her, but I didn't pay that much attention because you know that paying attention that well to fashion is not my strong suit. I just take note if I like something.
Gotcha.
Jenna wears the pantsuit thing with the gold built-in necklace that you didn't
No, thank you.
realize was pants when she was showing it to Cam in the previous episode, but it is. 2 high heels. She looks like Jenna King. Danny shows up, and it turns out that she asked Shep to come. At least this is the story that Shep is telling us, which honestly, I don't know if I trust Shep's perspective on any
Can we
story.
believe him? I feel like can we trust him with anything? I don't know.
I don't know, but he claims that she was like, then Craig shows up and, Danny's dress was hot pink. I think it had a belt. It was pretty. It looked good on her. She knows what looks good on her.
Yeah, I thought it was actually really pretty as well. I thought she looked amazing. And I thought Craig, even though he was dressed inappropriately because he wore black jacket, I thought he looked really handsome.
Senor Witch, the fashion police, I don't know what we call him, etiquette guy, he shames Craig for his black jacket. And then Craig, next quote I have is, T-Rav, I guess, is showing up with Kathryn. I can't believe Thomas actually showed up with her. Craig.
Well, that's the thing. And he says that he can't believe that he's not ashamed of it. He doesn't want to keep it secret. But I think that's the delusion, the unique delusion that Thomas is living out right now, which is he's doing what makes him happy, and he thinks that that will make him a marketable candidate.
Well, you know what's funny is they're capturing Craig's surprise in the moment of when Kathryn shows up with Thomas. And this is where I'm like, you know what? Craig hasn't been filmed. And has he been actually had to have been working? Like, does he not know about all the drama very well that's been going on? And then Cam says, yep, he's really putting it out there. And Craig is saying in a side comment that he thinks the age difference with Kathryn being so much younger is weird. And then Cam says she thinks Tom dates age inappropriate women, which is so funny because it's like the Leonardo DiCaprio disease after they turn 18. He's no longer interested in them. I'm glad Danny didn't ask T-Rav too, because if she had, T-Rav would have been talking about it. And that's when I wrote down, did she actually ask him? Shep, did she?
Would be surprised, but whatever.
Then we have Jenna and Whitney making fun of Thomas Ravenel as well. Jenna makes fun of the prom dress that she says that Kathryn is wearing. She also takes it super catty and way too far. She jokes about Kathryn having had an abortion, which I wrote.
Well, that was gross. Yeah, it goes with your abortion. That was gross.
I cringed so hard that I broke a tooth. It was terrible. And I'm like, those who live in glass houses, Jenna, who's your boyfriend that you keep talking about and who isn't here but would have married you 7 years ago? Who's that guy? Yeah, okay. Stop throwing your rocks around, you stupid idiot. Anyway.
It's funny. She has the exact same situation.
Yeah, it's gross. It's honestly like I think it's just mad because Kathryn's isn't married. It's just crazy. Anyway.
She could marry him. You're right.
All aboard the gossip train. Choo choo. And then Whitney tells somebody, I want to see your tits. He told Cam, I want to see your tits. This is why I'm like,
Jenna.
Not even Cam. No, he told Cam that, and then he went and told Jenna nice things. Like he was.
They're both outside.
It was just gross. He's gross.
He is nasty. I hate to say it, but like, he is the guy who, even though he's friends with you, says things like that. He's that guy. Then it's bagpipes, which I was not prepared for. Were you prepared for bagpipes?
I was not. I had no idea. But JD, I don't know. Irish, Scottish, we'll find out. Everybody's having a great time. JD gives his speech about Sullivan's Island, the battle for Sullivan's Island. And they defeated the Brits. And then he tells everybody to make way to their seats. And it appears that Real Housewives style, JD, Thomas Ravenel, and Whitney are all seated at one table. And I clocked, I think Cameran, Jenna, and Shep are at another table. I couldn't
And
clock
Craig.
where the other folks. Oh, Craig was there too?
Yep.
I couldn't clock where other people were sitting, but apparently Whitney's talking to Kathryn. He tells her that she looks like Rita Hayworth. He has to explain who Rita Hayworth is. At the same time, Shep is trying his game on the new girl.
It's so awkward to listen to, isn't it?
Ugh, Thomas says that he's going to hold a sit-down dinner with the boys, given the advice for the young bucks. Like, and then Whitney says Thomas giving out life advice is an exercise in absurdity. And it's like they're just going back and forth essentially with each other, a dick war on television.
Of course.
It's just so stupid. And then, so Whitney, of course, in his utmost maturity, Mr. I'm going to buy a $7 million house but not talk about it, he tells T-Rav that he couldn't get 4 people to the house and that he would bet on it.
Yeah, because Thomas then says, I can fill up the house with 500 people if I wanted to. And Whitney says, I bet you can't. And he bets him 5,000. And that's when Tommy Tom, he loses his mind and he says, you attack me. You say I can't get more than 4 people to my house. And then you want to sit at my table, which made me think, I wonder if Thomas bought that table. Like if he paid for the seats.
Probably. It's like a political event. He could write it off at some point.
And so he goes, get away from me before I bitch slap you right now. And Whitney is fucking stunned.
It's so funny though, because like Thomas, who I think held a lot of restraint in front of Pat, because Pat's Pat. Right now, he's in front of JD, who must be one of his longer standing friends and supporters through everything. And Whitney, who, is part of this show with him and seemed at the beginning to understand his political aspirations and try to be advisor-ish. So I think that he's like finally had it. He's like, stop acting like I'm terrible and picking apart everything I do type thing. Like they've all seen reality TV up until this point. And It's just funny because like then they argue over whether or not Whitney tried anything with Kathryn. And Whitney says, I did not bang your friend. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
Like what a weird way to phrase.
Well, I think that because Thomas says, my lady friend. The whole thing is really creepy because what ends up happening is like they have that conversation. The ladies excuse themselves because they're like, fuck. Is there going to be an actual like fisticuffs at the table? So they leave. And now there's this sort of heated moment between the two of them where he's basically saying to Thomas, listen, nothing happened. I'll bring Kathryn back and we'll see. And so he's going to actually talk to Kathryn and check and see what she says. And when she comes back, she really minimizes what happened, which is very different from what happened when she was at Stars with Thomas. Very different.
Yeah, she definitely was changing her story.
Maybe she was a little bit drunk she could have been drunk the last time she told the story.
Yeah, it's interesting because she keeps saying over and over again, yeah, when I went to your place, we talked about politics. She said it like 2 or 3 times, and it honestly made me feel like she was using code.
Yes.
Because she almost looked him in the eye at one point and was like, yes, I came over and we talked about politics. Like, were they talking about politics until the wee hours of the morning, and then Pat met her in the kitchen because she and Whit were talking about politics? I think I know what Pat thinks talking about politics means. But it's interesting because Whitney essentially tells her, make it clearer, please. And it's interesting. Like, there's so much that happens, including Danny trying to kiss, Shep trying to kiss Danny. And then Danny laughing it off.
Succeeding.
Yes, but she tried to laugh it off, what she did with T-Rav, and I was like, oh God, poor Danny, always having guys try to make out with her in the most weird time.
Like in her face too, like
And,
not even, yeah.
Yeah, so she turns him down once, and then she lets him kiss her the second time. But it's just crazy. It's interesting that Thomas eventually lets the whole thing go, even though it's not fully resolved. And he says something about how he understands why Kathryn would change her story. He doesn't essentially trust Whitney, but he thinks that Kathryn changing her story is more of a product of the terrible things that happen to women. I don't, like, you know what I mean? It was very interesting when he was like, I understand, like, I can forgive whatever, I don't care what she did, I'll forgive the whole thing, I don't care, essentially.
Interesting to me that he is willing to end his friendship with Whitney over a woman that he's known for like a month.
But I think that's what he's saying. Essentially, he's patching things up with Whitney, letting Whitney believe that he believes him, and saying he can forgive Kathryn for changing her story because of some stupid bullshit reason. So essentially, he gets it both ways. It looks, he's smoothing it over, which is what Kathryn's sending him signals to do with Whitney, and he gets to be like, that's not what happened.
Well, yeah, the whole thing when they go outside was just really cringe.
Yeah,
Thomas saying he's a wrestler and he'll throw him on the ground in 2 seconds.
Well,
and Whitney's like, and I'll have you arrested and you'll go to jail. Like, it was a whole cinch. That was super cringy, especially because, like I said, these aren't strangers. These are actual friends. And so it's sad to see them having this stupid ass argument over this woman that they both hardly know.
I do have to say, though, JD, when they finally took it outside, like, we're at the head table. We need to mind ourselves.
Yeah. And then he's like, hey, get away from the front of the business. I get it. I totally get it.
With Thomas Ravenel, you've been coming at me a lot lately. With my lady who you tried to make a move on, which Whitney denies. Like, I just think it's funny. Like, just the terrible fight that they had. Like, this was telenovela greatness. Like, oh, men are going to go outside and beat their chests.
I thought they were going to make out.
Walk in with nothing resolved. Make out or walk in with, like, whatever. We've forgiven each other.
Yeah.
No answer. So they show Shep and Cam dancing. And then T-Rav eventually gets Kathryn out there, and JD carries his wife, Lizzie is her name,
Elizabeth,
out to dance. And then it ends on, you're my woman, and then T-Rav dipping Kathryn. And it cut to next time on, which I promptly stopped watching.
Yes, I have to say, I was so excited because I really love, like I said, any type of party on any of these shows. I love to see what people are going to wear. I know there's always going to be high drama there. So this was a really exciting episode for me. The drama continues, I know, in the next episode. So it's going to be boiling over. The tea is about to boil over as it is right now. But yes, that dipping scene of Thomas and Kathryn is pretty iconic in the show. It's something that is shown constantly whenever people talk about Southern Charm. So it was cool to get to actually see it done live. But now that we have come to the end of the episode, let us talk about our fabulous Southern Charm categories. So first, let us talk about fashion favorites. So there was quite a bit of fashion in this particular episode. Usually there's hardly any. And we have to say, like, Cam, or I have to say that I like Jenna's leather outfit. Did you see anything that you liked? Male or female, by the way?
Well, all the gents in their suits. I love a man in a suit. honestly. Craig looked nice in his dark jacket suit. It was a good look for him. I'm sure he knows what looks good on camera and probably was like, I don't care. I get washed out in white, so I'm gonna go. So honestly, like most of the people who wear makeup on this show is because they're gonna look so washed out with all the lighting. But anyway, I think that I really liked Kathryn's dress. And I really liked that dress of Cam's mom. If I had to give it just on re-wearing something that was old because you're thrifty, you're poor, you need the cash from Whitney and you have nothing else to wear. The fact that Cam rocked her mom's I was your age once dress, I'm giving it to Cam. But Kathryn looked lovely in that dress. It obviously was expensive. Thomas probably paid a lot for it.
I agree. I feel the same way. I think if I have to give an award for men, I thought Craig looked super handsome. And again, I agree with you. I think that white does wash a lot of those guys out. So I'm sure Craig was very well aware of that.
Yeah.
And I thought that for the women, I thought Kathryn's dress was just beautiful. And I liked the fact that it wasn't super low cut or that it was conservative and also really beautiful. All right, so let's move on to Wish We Were There. And so this is where Heather and I think back on the entire episode, all the different amazing locations and scenes. Where would we like to be? I have to be honest, I want to be there for the Carolina Day party.
Yeah, I mean, that obviously, if we took that out of it, then I could probably come up with something else. Like another place that I would like, the Charleston Tobacco and Wine. Jeremy and I could go there. He could have himself a nice cigar and I could just drink myself silly with some wine. So that was good. But yeah, obviously, like you want to go to that party.
Yeah, gotta wear a cool dress at the party. The most cringe-worthy moment. And for me, it was very early on when Thomas is talking about the dress that Kathryn will wear because he wants it to be something where she would go braless.
The whole thing I wrote cringe,
I just thought he was gross.
I'll pick something different. Hold on. Honestly, the cringiest. The entire scene was cringe from start to finish. Shep and MJ. What the heck was going on there? That's either scripted or like
so hard to
something
watch.
Weird is happening there. Because I don't think we ever see hide nor hair of MJ again. Although, little premonition, put my hand out there. If she's a guest on the reunion, I'm gonna get drunk.
I hope that she's a guest on the reunion.
Right.
I'd love to hear her say, like, listen, we hardly knew each other.
She was core cringe content, that woman.
She's like, listen, I'm just a cute little yoga instructor. I don't want anything to do with these fucking people.
I'm so sweet and lovely.
Yeah, I agree. This episode in and of itself was super cringy, which is what made it incredibly juicy. It's like in terms of burgers, this is a very delicious and juicy burger. So full of cringe. And so, as we said before, our spotlight is going to be on one of the more peripheral characters. So someone who, like we said, we think probably was meant to be a main character, and I think who might even be a main character in later seasons, and that is JD.
Oh, JD, we love thee. Hold on. Where to start? Okay, folks. Buckle up. I'm just going to flip back to season 1 very quickly to see if I wrote anything down about Mr. JD. That's going to take too long. So we're just going to cut you all directly to my Google search adventure through JD. Maria, I'm bringing this up so I can look at your face. So when you first Google JD from Southern Charm, you learn that JD Madison, and his full name is John David Madison, is known for his appearances on Southern Charm with his then ex-wife, Elizabeth Madison, and their close friendship with T-Raz.
Oh, I'm sad.
So, we have learned in the first sentence that JD apparently has gotten a divorce. Now, that
Poor
very
Elizabeth.
quickly took me to click on something that brought me all the recent articles. And this is where it's going to be choose your own adventure, Maria, because I don't really care where JD grew up or any of that stuff. I think I've learned enough about JD that I care about his history up until now. But we are going to go on a Maria chooses how we go through JD's life from this point on.
Okay, cool.
So this is February 2025. January 2025, JD Madison's legal issues may have caused him to leave Southern Charm. This is just this year, folks.
Oh, I want that
2 weeks
one.
ago, Cameran Eubanks, Thomas Ravenel, and more Southern Charm stars who left the series. Where are they now? We have number 4, Southern Charm's JD Madison reveals why he and wife Elizabeth Madison separated. This is from 2018. And those are the ones that I clicked on.
Okay, so let's
Maria, of these 4.
Let's do number 2. The JD Madison's legal issues may have caused him to leave Southern Charm.
His legal issues may have caused him to leave. Yes. So he was arrested in 2018 for writing a bad check. He was picked up by a warrant and was booked due on a checking violation. He apparently had some fraud with that, with insufficient funds. And behind closed doors, it goes on to another article that it says he faced serious allegations when a woman accused him of sexual assault. She claimed that he had drugged and assaulted her. Apparently,
Wow,
yeah.
these people are super fucking problematic, huh? Wow. Okay, so JD's had some struggles. So things are looking rosy as we're looking at the first season of Southern Charm, but it's not going to last. That's what you're telling me?
Yeah, I guess it's not going to last. But what I am going to say, because JD, I've got all sorts of articles here. I went deep down a rabbit hole about him appearing in bond court. Like, they really covered that. Apparently he was accused of rape back in 2018.
Jesus.
Their kids, I guess, were on the Meet the Cast members' children on Bravo at some point, or Us Weekly. It's just, he also was sued for $163,000 in unpaid rent. Maybe one of the places he was, or stuff for his rentals. Yeah.
He's a shady businessman. Wow. Well, thank you for that deep dive, Heather.
Of course, it was my pleasure.
Very much appreciated. Yeah, this was an interesting one. I think that's one of my favorite things, is us figuring out who we're going to profile based on what happens in the episode. And we figured, since JD is the originator of all things Carolina Day for us in Southern Charm, and since his businesses and his party feature pretty heavily in this episode, he seemed like a natural choice.
Absolutely. And what was this one called? White Ties and White Lies. And there was definitely some white lies at the end of that one.
This is the end of episode 5. We're on the downswing right now. It's going to be building and building and building. It's going to feel like a train. So buckle up, my friend. Buckle up. This is going to be a good one. You are the greatest in terms of research. You are like the Columbo of finding out what's going on in the reality TV world. So I am very grateful for you.
Oh, you're the best, my dear.
You're so much more than just a pretty face. This was so much fun, my darling. Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody listening. If you enjoyed the show, please leave us a review and share the podcast with someone that you think might enjoy it. We appreciate it. We'll see you guys soon. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.